Hello, everybody. This is Nick Augustine here with Scott Davis from Local IQ, and today we're explaining on-page SEO and off-page SEO here on the Texas Law Talk Radio Network. We're going to learn how search engines work and why both on-page SEO and off-page SEO work is necessary to appear in search results and maps. This part of digital marketing gets confusing, and people may not know what they're paying for and how to determine if it works. Scott and I are going to break it down for you and hope you learn enough to better understand and manage your digital marketing. Here's a little roadmap for today. First, we're going to talk about what Google uses to rank websites and display them in search results. Second, everyone says they do SEO, but what do they actually mean? Third, examples of on-page SEO, like content and individual web pages. Examples of off-page SEO, backlinks, listings, and off-website efforts. Then we're going to talk about auditing websites for SEO, looking at health, broken links, and indexing issues. We're going to talk about how to avoid gimmicks and tricks of showing website traffic from misleading sources, and the range of work and typical fees involved with all of this stuff. So I am going to get back to Scott here. And Scott, why don't you, I'm going to move over to there to the screen. All right. Okay, we still there? Scott, I've got
Apologize. Yes, I was muted.
Okay, sorry. All right, as we're getting forward here, so let's talk about all these different things and just a little background. You and I were connected through client and comment, and have been talking back and forth for years. You've always been the other side of the coin that I don't do. I'm the organic guy. I'm the content guy. I do the writing. I get confused when you talk to me about the details of all the stuff in the back and backlinks. I know when backlinks are bad. I know when they're good. I know when things go wrong. I know who to call to fix them. You're one of the guys that helps me with that. I know that you're one of the people when people want to spend money in keyword advertising in that paid search engine marketing, you're the guy for that. And but today we need to really talk about what all this is because we have a lot of people talking about SEO. And what I am encountering is clients where I handle the content and in the on-page SEO, all the writing and publishing. And then there's other people that come around and they're doing back-end work, and that's more off-page SEO, not what I usually do, but I'm the one who needs to wrangle it and keep around it. And when it comes time to analyze these websites, I go to Scott here and I say, Scott, I'm working with this client. They've got a website. He pulls it up, shows me, ooh, there's a bunch of stuff wrong. You need to fix that. And behind the scenes, also with the 1 hour consulting things I've been telling people about, a lot of people work with different marketing companies and they just need someone to come in once a month and they get an hour of my time to go through a strategy of what they're doing. And maybe I'm just going through all their marketing efforts and saying, I like this, you should do more of that. But also, it's, hey, I'm working with these companies and I don't know what I'm paying for. And I ask them and they say, I don't know. They're doing the SEO. So, I mean, I can't even help them if I don't understand what they're getting and they have no idea. So, Scott, help us. Help, help, help. So, let's start with number one, what Google uses to rank websites and display them in search results. I talk about the length of time a domain's been around, the quality of the content, the authenticity, all that. Take it from there. What does Google care about?
Three different things. And this evolves and constantly changes. On-page SEO, which is writing new, unique, not copied from my friend's term paper content, okay? Unique content, because people do copy stuff, and that's not good, so you're breaking the rules there. On-page, off-page SEO, which is relevant external link building. And then the most important part that I feel gets often overlooked, and you don't know if it's broken or not unless you check it constantly, and that's technical SEO. So you got
Tactical.
all three, yeah, technical SEO. You got to do all three. And with my experience, I've been doing search engine optimization since 2006. And just to be clear what SEO means, search engine optimization, it's where you earn your way to the first page of Google from a bottom-up strategy. And there's a bunch of ingredients. We always like to use acronyms. There's a bunch of ingredients that is required for SEO. So you got to have all the ingredients to bake your cake, and you got to bake it for long enough and take it out of the oven before it burns. So my point is, there's a lot of ingredients. So on-page SEO is writing new content. Off-page is relevant external link building. And then the third one, I think, again, most important is technical SEO.
How do
Because
you
if
define tactical?
technical, it could be a number of things that are broken on your site. I'm going to show you an
Mhm.
example. I've got actually one queued up here. And I think we've heard of the company Walgreens. I'm in Chicago, so I'm sure most people have heard of Walgreens. And the key thing to find out what's wrong or broken, meaning the technical audit of any website, is the tools that you use. So there's a bunch of tools you can use. One of them here is SiteLiner. Another one is SEM or SEMrush, and that's a paid unit. Something called Screaming Frog is another good audit tool from the UK. Got to make sure you have Google Search Console. All these things are free, well, except for the SEMrush. You can buy the subscription. But Google Analytics 4 and Google Search Console you have to have those things in any kind of SEO program. And what Google Search Console does is it tells you and lets you know what pages on your website are crawled, are not crawled and not indexed. So just to explain what that means. It's like the card catalog, excuse me, when we were kids at the library. So Google has to be able to crawl, meaning their bots or their spiders, have to crawl every page of your website. And if they can crawl it successfully with no errors, and they can interpret what that page means, then they insert you into their index, which is the card catalog. So we're looking at my screen here. This is for Walgreens. Looks like they have over 4,600 pages on their site. So I just did a quick audit on their site, and this is not a full forensic audit, but this is actually a free subscription I have. It's called SiteLiner, like I said. So took a couple minutes to run, and they have 139 broken links. So to answer your question, there's a broken link on their homepage. There's a broken link on this page. They're testing. So all these things so anything that's connected to a page on your site that's broken hurts your rankings, hurts something called trust factor Google has with your brand, which is your website. So this is not a set and forget it program. This is constant daily monitoring of what's going on with your website. So if you have 70 pages on your site and only 30 of them are in Google's index, that means you have 40 pages that are invisible to Google, meaning you're not ranking for those and Google doesn't know they exist. The website still works, that page still works. I can look at the page and read it, but Google doesn't know it exists. So that's why all these tools are necessary for SEO, search engine optimization, especially the technical side. So these are some broken items on their site, and there's quite a few. Some of these are false positives, but you have to do something called trust but verify. So technical, finding out what's wrong, finding out what's broken on your site, and then fixing those things.
Mhm.
Once you fix them, you're going to have Google recrawl your site, and then you'll get in the index on those new pages
Question.
fixed. Sure.
All right, question. These are real questions I've had from real people who encourage these types. They find these problems. Question one, someone I hear frequently is, well, should I just ditch this site, start over with a new site that's fresh? Would that be quicker and easier, or should I go through the effort of doing this? And then when their site and how the pages they have, many of those pages may be years worth of blog articles, for example, or they could be evergreen pages. So is it worth fixing? Why or why not?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Usually you want to refresh your brand and your website every 5 to 7 years. That's usually the rule of thumb. So sometimes if you redo your site and you make it faster and more user-friendly on mobile, especially, sometimes that will cure some of the errors on your site. So if you're working on a website that has a 15-year-old theme or 10-year-old theme, it's going to be really hard for you to fix that completely. So if it's just riddled with errors and you don't think you can fix it, usually the best way to do SEO is to redo the site. By doing so, it'll help, fix some of those errors, and you're still going to have errors, but a lot of those will be remedied if you redo your site
Right.
because
So
the
with
content management
WordPress,
system has to be up to date. Right.
right. WordPress, I've used WordPress for years and occasionally I come across some other sites, but I always tell people that doing a new theme every few years is good just for navigability as well.
Yes. Yes.
The menu items work better, everything works better, things render. What is rendering, when we show that site on our phone, or where we take it on, we have one screen on our computer and we can switch to like multiple screens.
Mhm.
Does it all adjust and all that? And a lot of people are so focused on their website, what it looks like online on their desktop or in their office, they don't realize how many people are doing these things on their phone.
Right.
And now when we move into podcasts and everything else, device navigability is huge. It's really important. So also, my next question is, so when we're talking about on-page SEO, off-page SEO, again, the on-page is actual content and things that we are writing and publishing. And when we talk about off-page SEO, one of the first things that people usually talk about is backlinking. I've seen terrible backlinking practices with people buying backlinks from I don't know where, and they're not legit. And the best backlink is someone else who references your site and gives a link to you on their site. And that's someone you know, like, and trust. But I call them Cheap Trick Marketing Company. And that's my play on words with the band. And Cheap Trick Marketing Company shows people, hey, look at these things that I'm doing. I have a whole bunch of traffic to show you. And I'm looking at that and I'm asking, are those real companies that are backlinking to you? How much of this traffic is human traffic? And I understand that people are using AI now and they're creating like a whole bunch of pages and stuffing them in there and they're showing traffic. And what I see is, and I asked that question, how much of that traffic is human traffic versus robot traffic? And I was taught by the people at the Chicago Tribune to write for humans first, robots second. And everything started with keywords and SEO. We had to write for that. And it's been 20 years now. And if I publish a whole bunch of pages and add them to a website, you're going to show a whole bunch of new traffic. But that's the search engine robots going to index all the stuff. So, and I've seen charts and graphs that others have produced that show a bunch of traffic, but I don't know if that's legitimate or not. And so if I can't understand and tell you what I'm reading, how is the client supposed to know? They're busy practicing law.
Correct. So you're judged based on the company you keep. Again, another analogy with Google. We're on the topic of backlinks. I am going to share my screen again,
Mhm.
and you have to have clean, relevant, non-bot, like you said, links.
From
So
real
if you,
companies, you can see
yes,
and touch and
yes,
call and
correct,
contact.
correct. And make sure they're not spammy links. So this is one of the tools that we use, many of them. It's called SEMrush. And we did a backlink audit on this. So we're trying to figure out which links on their site are toxic, which means they're not good. I'll explain what that means here in a second. So
Dirty
36,
links.
yeah, dirty links, right? 36, what do you call it? 36 links on their website are toxic. And then there's 37 that are potentially toxic. So what does the toxic mean? Again, bad, company you're keeping. So we're going to take a look at what one of those looks like. And why
And
is
then
it?
a lot of people, when people buy links, they'll go to this place and be like, hey, we'll
They're
sell
not
you all these
vetted.
backlinks.
When you buy links, they're not vetted. You didn't do your homework. It's like a background check on the links. Basically,
Yep.
what it means. So we're going to take a look at the first one here, and the toxicity score on this link here is 83. So anything in red is something you want to zero in on. Well, what does it matter if I have a toxic link pointed to my site? It's your site still works. I can still read it. I can look at it on my phone. It functions properly. But Google's actually aware, and their AI technology is aware that this is a bad link connected to you. So again, you get penalized for having the bad kids at the party, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're just going to take a look at this. And some of these are just connected and they don't even know it happened. And you don't even know until you do this, forensic audit. So we're going to take a look at this website that is a toxic backlink. So he's an attorney. Okay. Why is he connected to a home improvement link?
Oh no.
Yeah. So what you'll do here, see, look, this has nothing to do with attorneys.
So bad.
It is, but it's fixable. But this person has no idea that there's an issue here. And if this person is getting SEO done for them, that SEO person, frankly, is not doing their job. Because this is one of the checklist of items that you have to do on your punch list of items every month. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not good. It's not relevant. Google knows you're trying to trick the system. Okay. So what you do to fix this is you have to do something called disavow this link or all these links. meaning
Yeah.
you're telling Google, please disconnect us, disassociate
Right.
us with this.
So do not follow, don't
Ignore it.
look.
Correct.
Do not
Absolutely.
index.
So let's find one more. Just an example. We're on toxic. Home and home improvement again. Different page. One more. Decoration one. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, they're all different web addresses and they all have the same H1 tag. I just want to have a little X-ray tool here. This is on page. So look, this is interesting. So for those of you who don't know, this is a piece of on-page SEO we're looking at. So if you see my cursor up here, SEO, this is SEO meta in one click. Okay. So this is an X-ray of the source code in the back end of his site. And this is an X-ray of the content on the site. So your title tag, that's a label that lets Google know what this page is about. And this person, this company, this backlink company, purposely put Texas Attorney General Child Support in a page that has to do with home and home improvement. So that's not good. So if you get caught, they actually do have engineers at Google looking for cheaters like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cheaters, the person that's getting the business, is paying someone for SEO, like you said, you don't know what they're paying for. Sometimes you'll get blacklisted. They'll take you off, and it's a manual penalty, is what that is.
It's a mess. So you have
So JC
established.
Penney, actually, I want to show you something. I apologize
Yeah.
for interrupting. This is from 2010. JC Penney, SEO black hat tactics. When you cheat at SEO, it's called a black hat tactic.
I thought most of these things were gone. Oh no, they're not gone. It used to be the typing in the
What's that?
same colored font in the back so you couldn't see that underneath.
Yes.
Those were
So this
like
is a
20
very
years ago.
old, yeah, this is a very old article. I really hope
Yeah.
I can do this. Okay. New York Times, okay,
Right.
February 12th, 2011. I apologize. We have pop-ups here. I can't, it's a paywall, man. So the gist of this article
Yeah.
is that JC Penney's SEO agency at the time in 2010, 2011 was
Hmm.
cheating. I mean, they were doing illegal black hat SEO tactics. So what happened was they got penalized. The JCPenney site got penalized so much that they had to actually change their domain to be able to get out of that penalty.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they sued the company that did the work for them. Long
Yeah.
story, and there's a bunch of case studies like this. BMW got in trouble doing that in '06. So long story short, make sure you have clean backlinks that are not toxic that are pointed to your site. Don't freak out if you got toxic stuff. You can always tell Google to ignore them, which means disavow them.
Here is what I get so frustrated with. So there is, man, Dallas, Texas is the headquarters of the song and dance and marketing and, wacky, waveable, inflatable tube, this, that, and whatever. I'm the one who gets people saying, I can produce more content than it can, real cheap and real quick and blah, blah, blah. And they're getting all this junk content. And when the people say that it's not working, I'm not getting enough, they say, you need more content, you need more content, and then they keep stuffing more into these websites that are just messed up and hurting these people. And it's like, I'll tell you what, we can start over fresh and do what I'm doing, just an organic side, just with regular on-page content, without any backlinks or anything else, and it'll be completely better and so much healthier. And so people keep thinking that they need more, and more is somehow helping them. So there's gimmicks, there's tricks,
More is
and
okay. More is helping them, but if you do more the right way and not
more,
just
but
quick
not
hit
more that's
stuff and
broken.
right. So content is king. Key
Yeah,
thing. Is the content
right.
relevant? Yes. Does Google know about it? Yes. Is it in their index? Yes. You have all those three conditions, Matt. You're going to get leads,
Yeah.
because you're ranking on.
So let's talk about how we can help people when I'm going through sites, because you're giving me tools, and that's something that I'm doing with people, because unless I actually know the person they're working with well, I don't trust them. And you know who I distrust the most? The biggest content and website providers for lawyers. I'm not going to go and name names, but they're terrible. And they're the reason I am in business. And they're the reason that I continue to do this, because I'm tired of seeing my friends and colleagues get screwed over and raked over the coals, and they're paying so much money for they're paying so much money for all this other work that people are doing, and they're adding junk content with AI. That's a whole nother topic of conversation right there. I think that that is going to be a thing that hurts people moving forward in the future. And so I've gone back to totally organic, originally human written everything, which is a best practice I know and should be doing at any rate. So
And you're
what
an attorney writing content, which makes it
right.
huge different.
It is a big
It's
difference. I
different.
mean, I see stuff from companies that they're putting stuff that's not even real on different websites. You know, family law in one place is not the same as family law everywhere, and that's just one practice area. And I do finance work too. So financial stuff. I mean, you think that lawyers have a hard time? Just wait till you deal with some of these other folks in the world of money. So there's gimmicks out there. There's broken links, and the people are banking on the lawyers don't know what's going on. They're banking on that I don't know you, and we're not going to team up. So I'm going to talk to people about. I'm going to work with you, and Scott and I are going to figure out if the people you're paying all this money for every month are doing you good or doing you dirty. And we don't really know until we really get under the hood and look. And some people might be doing a great job, but we need to find out what they're doing. So when people produce these long reports of all the things they're doing to justify it, we need to understand what's going on. And I keep preaching to people that they shouldn't pay for anything they don't understand. So, what are some ways that we can work on this moving forward? And what are some takeaways that people should know on the audit side, and what we can do to without, because most of the people that I like to work with are smaller firms, a handful of lawyers and some of the big people too. And some of the big dogs, they've got the same problems that the little guys do.
So the first step before anyone embarks on a SEO program is to do an audit first, because that produces your game plan, that produces your action plan of fixable items. And that has to be done first. Some folks will charge thousands of dollars just for the audit. And it does take several hours to do that, and several tools that you have to use that you're paying for to do that. So if you're going to do an SEO program, or if you are doing an SEO program and an audit wasn't done first, I think it's a big red flag. Because how do you know it's broken? Even though you're writing beautiful content, it looks great. If there's other broken stuff on there, which there usually is, then that new stuff you wrote is all for naught. It's hindered. It's
Yeah.
compromised as far as exposure, because it's connected to something else that's broken.
All right.
First step,
Cool.
audit. Okay. And then
Yes.
it's an ongoing, daily monitoring, as far as like a punch list of items is concerned. And then, obviously you want to review the campaign every 30 days, set benchmarks, you know, put a little indicator inside your Google Analytics 4 that knows when Nick or Scott started with your SEO program, and then, track from there. So you got to create benchmarks too and look at year over year, month over month, organic growth. You want to check your
Hmm.
rankings too. So the higher you rank on the page, the more leads you get.
Yeah. And I'd like to see people, spend some money on this stuff, but also don't forget to save some money for sponsored ads and things, boosting Facebook posts, boosting things and other social platforms. The people who already know, like, and trust you are there as well. So we always remember that we write for humans first and robots second. And that's some good stuff. Tell us a little bit while we've got you on here about local IQ and all the things that you do that I don't do, and who are good clients for you.
Anybody that has a business model where there's an audience online for it that needs your help, bottom line is.
So,
So,
everybody.
yeah, everyone. I mean, so Google Ads, real quick, I don't need to show my screen again, but usually about half the people that do a keyword search on Google are clicking on the sponsored ads on top. And the other half don't like the ads, and they scroll down to the organic section. So in a perfect world, you want to be both sides. So my firm, Local IQ, has software that's going to track that customer journey took, whether it was one and done, or if it took them 15 touches to finally reach out to you. It's amazing how many touch points there are on the end user that doesn't know you yet, but found you online, as far as the due diligence and the research they're doing. Some people don't realize they're doing it. It's just innate. So SEO is one part of the journey. Google Ads is one part of the journey. Usually that's where they find you is, Google, right? Or Yahoo or Bing, but mostly Google. And then they're going to find who they were looking for. They're going to narrow down their list. And then guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to the Google Maps, check out the reviews. They're going to check on social media posts and reviews. They're going to look at your content on your website. And like I said, sometimes 15, maybe 30 touch points, which you don't even realize is happening. So that's our main difference is I'm able to track it, and show you those touch points. So
Hmm.
my firm is a Google Premier Partner, and we're now again a Meta certified, formerly Facebook partner, and basically can track anything. I'm sorry, anyone that comes to your website.
Yeah.
All calls are tracked. So if you were to do organic and SEO for somebody, I would be able to track the calls on that for you. So
Which
transparency is very huge, huge.
Yeah, and the call tracking and things, I mean, those are things too that we can disable if some people don't want them, and we
Correct.
have all
Absolutely.
sorts of different options because some people have sensitivities to that. And I want to reiterate that being found in the Google Maps is huge. Google reviews are huge. If you are not spending so much of your time asking for good Google reviews, you are missing on the gold. Get the
Yeah.
Google reviews and also do some work with paid search. I know that the people down the street spend thousands of dollars you don't have to spend or want to spend. I have a feeling and a belief, though, a strongly held belief that you play nicely with Google and put some money in the kitty and do your organic content, like you will do well. I don't think that you need to spend thousands of dollars to do it. There's a budget for everyone and something that makes sense. And again, you can get a lot done for a surprisingly fair amount. All right, what do you got here?
I am doing an incognito search because whenever you want to check for your ranking for your website
Yes.
organically, you want to do an incognito search because if you do it when you're signed into your Gmail account, you're going to see different results because Google knows and they're trying to show you the best possible results because they know your history. But if I do incognito, in my opinion, I'm going to get a more accurate ranking system. Okay. So, Nick, give me a keyword search down in your area, some sort of a attorney practice. Yeah, I got one. I got one.
Aviation.
No, actually, I got a better one. Sorry.
Okay.
This used to be the most expensive keyword on Google 2 years
Oh, I
ago.
know what you're doing. San
I,
Antonio truck wrecks or something like
no,
that.
that too. That too. That's a good
Okay.
one. But we're going to bear with me here. We're going to do offshore accident attorney, Houston, Texas. That used to
You're
be
picking on
800,
oil rigs now.
right. That
Go
used to be
ahead.
$850 just for the click.
Hmm.
So when
Wow.
I click here on the sponsored link, I'm going to cost this guy $500 probably. So I don't want to do that. Okay. $500. So we're not going to do that. So these are the paid ads. And this is a new feature. If I look at these three dots, now I get a copy of what their ads look like. So Google is very, cognizant of, people that, I don't know, might have lawsuits or that are using Google as a tool to go rip you off, whatever it is. So you've got to verify your identity now. And this has been for about 2 years now. So here's some of the Doyle Law Firm's ads. They've got 20 ads right now. So 20 ads running on Google. And let's go back here. Same thing with these folks.
That's what the people do in the marketing departments of these big firms is they manage these ads.
And then here's obviously the first organic position,
Yeah.
Houston Oil Off Rig. So I'm going to go to their website really quick. And there's a reason why they're there ranking number one. And I'm going to
I
show
know.
you that really quick. So this goes to on page, off page, and link building. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go back here. And we're going to take a look at that X-ray tool, which is called SEO Meta in one click. I'm going to click on that. Perfect. So one of the main reasons, or a couple of reasons why they're ranking, their title tag reads the keyword they want. Houston offshore oil rig attorney, number one. The other thing, your H1 tag, your header tag, first header tag, also Houston offshore injury lawyer. That's what we want. And don't ever put anything under meta keywords. That's considered cheating since 2010. So make sure you leave those blank. So in their images, you want to label the images on every page. Oh, interesting. All right. Bottom line is you want to label the images. And I'm curious, what this runs. So the Google Ads pricing is determined by something called public auction, which I actually kind of like. I cut my teeth in sales selling print and yellow pages when Google was still on Stanford servers in 1998. A full page ad in the city of Chicago in 1998 in the phone book ads was $10,000 a month. That's full rate. What I like about Google Ads is it's not a rate card business. The pricing is determined by all the other all the other advertisers that are in the auction. So I'm in the Google Ads tool. I'm going to go to Tools, and then I'm going to go to Keyword Planner. I'm going to get new keywords, and I'm just going to type in Houston offshore accident attorney. And I'm going to do offshore accident attorney. And then we're going to get a couple of other ideas. I'm just curious what the cost per click is. Average cost per click. Beautiful. So now we're going to do Texas offshore attorney. We're going to do Houston offshore accident lawyer. These are all very similar, but they're different keywords. So if you're doing this or SEO, you've got to go after these particular keywords because everybody searches differently. Let's do one more. Let's just do Houston accident lawyer. I'm just going to grab these. We should be done here in a minute. I think it's important for people to find out how the pricing is determined here. I'm going to go to, oops, where'd it go? I'm going to download this CSV file. And then the other thing this tells us is how many other lawyers are in the ad auction for that per keyword. That's also nice. So you get a list of people that you're betting against, which is also nice.
They've changed this stuff around so much.
They do. And you're not going to copy them. You're just going to maybe get some ideas, or you're going to see who's beating you, right? And it's a legit ranking report. It's a ranking report. So we're going to take a look at this. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to go like this. Oops. Pardon me. All right. Okay, so it's US dollars. We know that. And then I want to search this by highest to lowest. So I'm going to go right here. All right. So personal injury lawyer, Texas. Oh man, I can't grab this. Pardon me. Hold on. Let me undo this. There we go. It is a lot cheaper than it used to be. Actually, no, that's not true because I'm not doing the full thing. But let me just do largest to smallest on cost per click. Perfect. Okay. Now, it used to be 800, and there's some keywords that are, so Houston car accident attorney. Oop. Google is recommending that you start at $200. That's your bid just to be on the first page click. 200 bucks. And so there's 40 other advertisers in the auction right now for that keyword. Let me undo this.
40 people.
40, correct. Right now. It could be tomorrow morning. Correct.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to go like this. This is how it works. And on the high end, which one is this? On the high end, Google is suggesting you pay or you start your bid $544. And that's for accident attorney Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
So the pricing is determined here. So if you don't
Well,
have
I'm gonna do that in the organic side while y'all pay for it.
That's exactly what your plan should be.
That's been what I've been doing for 20 years.
Perfect. So when someone says organic is free clicks, that's not true. You're not paying per click, but you're not, accounting for the labor that needs to take place for this to happen. So labor is not cheap, especially good skilled labor like you have and like I have. So if you want to dominate that first page, perfect plan would be to do a Google Ads campaign and then an SEO or search engine optimization campaign. And there's one more thing, and I meant to share this, and I apologize. I meant to show the map listing here. 1 second. I'm going to go back to my incognito. Perfect. Offshore accident attorney. Oh, there's no map listings here. Interesting. Hold on. Let's just do accident attorney. There it is. Okay, so to get ranked on this 3-pack of map listings, This is called local SEO. And it takes an effort. It depends on your business and your industry and your business model. But there's a bunch of ways that Google uses as far as ranking criteria. One of them is your reviews, right? Got to have good reviews.
Hmm.
You've got to fill out your Google business profile. That's what this is called. You have to fill out your Google business profile as robustly as possible, meaning
And that's where I to keep telling people, like, every time I upload and share stories anywhere, I'm putting
you
it
got to
there as
share it
well.
here. Share it here. You
And
can share your
yeah,
stories on
it's
the LinkedIn, I'm sorry, the Google Map listing.
all the time, all the time, and getting things wrong. I have a few people right now who, but on the back end, when you change things around in Google My Business, it's bots responding to things, and they keep saying you need to take a video of a person
Yes.
who owns the business and all this. And we have people who have offices in buildings with lots of different people, and so I may need to talk to you about some of that because they change their things around.
Mhm.
It used to be a lot easier, and getting things right. When people change domains, change law firm names, change
Mhm.
locations, it is a headache to the max
It
sometimes.
is.
So staying on top. But there's a lot of people who are like, I've never touched my Google My Business. And the thing is, you shouldn't freak out because the marketing firm you're working with is not doing that. There may be a lot of other things they're doing that are just wonderful as well. There is no
But you got to pay attention to
secret.
this.
You have to pay attention to it, but my point is there's no secret sauce. It's everyone is different and everyone's strategy is different. The important thing is that you're showing progress and getting results and you know what you're doing. There's also an element to branding, and the organic side of things with not only SEO, but just as we're publishing things on our social media, letting people know frequently who we are. I mean, that's branding and advertising, all these things. So many different words that incorporate all of the digital activities that we've got going on. And, today we're talking about on page and off page SEO and technical SEO. And, a lot of that, it depends on the size business you have and what your budget is. And if you have a small business, you may still be able to get a lot of these things done on a shoestring budget. But that's the way to start, is understanding it, not being afraid of it, and knowing what it is. And if you can't understand what the people working for you are doing, you need to keep asking questions and find someone to explain it, because it's quite possible you're paying a lot of money for problems that are not getting solved, and people who may intentionally be tricking you. We looked at this, offshore oil rig accident. There's all sorts of people in the business of well, there's all sorts of people in a lot of businesses who raise money for things that they know are going to not pan out. And it's deceptive and it's tricky. And I guess you just don't, you've got to buyer beware. You have to know who you're dealing with and you have to ask the questions. I tell people I cannot do and answer your highly technical questions. That's why I go to people like Scott. I write great articles. I make people look good. I put them at the right places. We grab the content, we advertise it, we do podcasts, we do great things on social media, we hype it up, but we also need help under the hood, on the back end. And I
The
do a
check engine
lot
light,
and I
right?
know a
The check
lot,
engine
but
light.
yeah, the check engine light comes on. We need to, have Scott take a look at that. So, and these things are fixable. And I've worked with a lot of people who've had websites that they say we should just trash this and start over. And there's all sorts of problems out there, and you don't have to undo a whole bunch of work. And I'll tell you what, too, when you start with a new website theme and you pull things in from the other one, it'll pull everything over. I just switched podcast platforms after 20 years. And that sucker pulled, close to 250 episodes over in about 3 minutes.
Wow.
So, with everything that's going on with artificial intelligence and quantum computing, I mean, quantum computing is busy doing a lot of other things first before it's bothering with this. But what we are going to see moving forward, and Scott will agree with me, is that Google rewards honest, hard work, and legitimate efforts. And the Black Hat SEO and all the different tricks from cheap trick marketing companies are not going to work. in the future. They already don't work now, and they're a problem. So you can spend a lot of money and
You
just
might
wondering
fool them
why
at
is my
first, but you're
yeah.
going to get caught, right? You might fool them at first. But I
Yeah,
want
right.
to bring this up really quick. And this is very hard to get people to do this, because you got to remember to ask someone. Whenever somebody writes you a review for your business, whether you're an attorney, uh, doctor, by mail delivery service, whatever it is, have that reviewer, you got to coach them ahead of time saying, hey, could you add a few keywords in your review about me? And sure. So one of the reasons why these folks are ranking well here, I did the keyword search accident attorney Houston, but the keyword is accident. What do you see highlighted here? Accident, accident, accident. So all three of these reviews, top three, have the word accident in it.
Yep.
That's one reason of many on why they're ranking here. So it pulls through that. So that's another way to rank higher on the map listings,
Well,
in
and
addition to
it's also good to
maximizing your
know
exposure.
someone, because a lot of people in Houston are going to search for truck wrecks because we may call them wrecks more than crashes or accidents. So, it's all the things, and there's a lot of things, and we just threw a lot of information at people that are scratch their head and don't run for the razors. You're fine. If there's a problem with your website, we can get it fixed. And 2025 is all about like shaking off everything from the pandemic on. It's like, a fresh new chunk of halfway through the 2020s, and we're all going to do great things. So Scott, we are going to hear from you again. We'll talk about more things as time moves on. We'll keep doing more podcasts and all this. So
This was
any
great. Thank you for
yeah,
inviting me.
any with SEO, just in one sentence, if you could unpack all this, and what would the takeaway be for people?
Play by the rules, assign or hire a team that knows what they're looking for and can follow Google's rules. Basically, that's all it is. You got to follow their rules. And just another key thing I want to mention here, SEO, it takes time. It's not right away. Google Ads, instant first page placement. It does take some time for you to rank organically. How long does that take? Well, it depends. It might take a couple months. It might take 6 or 8 months. It depends. Another thing that depends on is how old your domain is. Google actually, that's one of their ranking signals, is how old you've been around. And sometimes it's unfair because you started your business 5 years ago, and then I had the foresight to start mine 12 years ago. So then you're going to win if you do all the other things correctly because you're older. Or no, I'm older. Whatever I said, whoever is the older domain.
Right.
Key takeaway: follow the rules, employ people like ourselves or any marketing firm that knows what they're doing and they know what
Right.
to look for.
And it's quite possible that the marketing firm you're working with has taken over for someone else, and they don't know about those broken links, but they
They
should.
don't.
And,
Correct.
they may
You're right.
have some system. We're not here to suggest that everyone, fire all the other people in the world. But,
No.
if you can't find someone who's giving you what you're paying for, then you need to do that.
Right. And again, last thing, I mean, if you have something else, that's great. When you're a lawyer, the laws change a lot. Every year the laws change, right? Same thing with Google rules. Those change
Yeah.
every year. Some things are weighted more heavily. So you got to being able to adapt to the change.
Exactly. All right, Scott, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to
Yes,
thank
sir.
everybody who listens to Texas Law Talk Radio episodes. And when you find this information online or in social media, share it, because you just never know who's looking for this type of stuff. This is Nick Augustine from Texas Law Talk Radio. I cannot wait to announce our big sponsor. It has been in the waiting for some time. You never have to wait for some things, and you just keep waiting and waiting, and
Waiting.
we're waiting sometimes. So, but I can tell you all that 2025 is going to be a good year. All right, Scott, thank you for your time. We'll talk to you soon. All right, buddy.
Thank you, Nick. Happy
All right.
holidays. Happy holidays,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody. Yep.